Okay, it's time now for Instant Classics. That's the segment we do always at the end of our program that tries to give you a glimpse at what education might be like when you get it out of the hands of educrats and liberal progressives and a completely defunct public school system. The joy of education, the encounter with great minds. And all this week on the Dr. Duke Show, it is Nikolai Gogol week. Gogol is, of course, the great mid-century, 19th century Russian author who wrote some of the world's most brilliant short stories, including a short story called The Overcoat, which I think is the greatest short story ever written. It is an incredible piece of work. So influential was The Overcoat that the great Russian writer Dostoevsky actually said 25 years later that we, Russian writers, all come out from under Gogol's overcoat. And so let's take a look at a quote from this Russian genius. Quote, "A being disappeared," talking about, this is actually the very end of The Overcoat, where the protagonist of the story, Akakievich, is a broken down man. Society wears him down. The brutal hierarchy of Russian pre-communist bureaucracy has ground him into powder. And the one thing he lived for, this man, Akakievich, was to have himself a new overcoat made for the Russian winters. It took him years to save up for it. It was the one thing he fixated on. And no sooner did he have this coat finally made than the first time he wore it outside, it was actually stolen from him, which caused him to fall into a fever and die. And here is Gogol's summation of the life of Akakievich after he died. A being disappeared who was protected by none, dear to none, interesting to none, and who never even attracted to himself the attention of those students of human nature who admit no opportunity of thrusting a pin through a common fly and examining it under a microscope. A being who bore meekly the jibes of the department and went to his grave without having done one unusual deed, but to whom, nevertheless, at the close of his life, appeared a bright visitant in the form of a cloak, which momentarily cheered his poor life, and upon whom, thereafter, an intolerable misfortune descended, just as it descends upon the mighty of this world. You can look down your face at the Akakieviches of the world, but they die exactly the same day the rich and the wealthy do. A very powerful lesson in one of the world's great short stories.